Hello, America. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to my review of Married at First Sight, season 11, episode 6. I want to let you all know that I'm reviewing Claws. You can find it up here, and if you can't find it up here, then you can find it down below. And also, I'm running a sale on my earrings. You can get 15% off using code word thanks. You can find the earrings in the pinned comment or in the description box below. So we see Elizabeth and Jamie. They had sex last night, and according to Elizabeth, it was amazing. And also, Jamie said that he loved her. I don't have an eyebrow over here, so don't worry about that. Jamie says now that they've had the physical, everything is there, including the emotional and the mental, and he's in love with her. It's only been 5 days that they've known each other, but he's still really not even 5 days. It's been like 4 days that they've known each other, because do you really love somebody do you really know somebody on your wedding day if you get married at first sight? Anyway, Elizabeth wants to make sure that they didn't have sex too soon, and she's falling in love with him as well. I hate when they do these little group sessions because it messes up the flow of what I'm talking about. But all of the ladies went shopping and stuff, and they talk about little things. Amber asks if anyone has had a fight, and Elizabeth says that she's not going to tell them that she's had a fight because she doesn't want people to judge her, and she doesn't want any gossip going around. So when she meets back up with Jamie, she talks about, not telling the girls that they had an argument. And Jamie says that she may feel insecure, and if they just work together and communicate, then those problems will disappear. So they're supposed to be getting on a catamaran. How would I know what a catamaran is? I'm broke. But Elizabeth is nervous about a catamaran. It's not her favorite thing to do. And Jamie feels like she's just sucking all the energy out the room, which, I mean, what do you want her to do? You want her to... People literally have motion sickness. People literally, like, I have motion sickness, and I've never been on a damn boat. Like, my head used to hurt when we used to drive too long, and I used to like look at stuff, and my eyes used to start hurting, and my head would start hurting, and I needed to lay down. Like, what do you want her to do? What do you want her to do? Jamie says that he doesn't even want to go anymore because of her negative energy that she's bringing to the room. So I'm going to pause on that story, and then I'm going to move on because it's all messed up. Let's go to Deanna and Greg. Deanna and Greg are looking at the ocean, and he says that he's given her 0 compliments today, and she's loving it. They talk about home churches. Although Deanna brings it up, he says that he has a home church. She says that she doesn't. I'm not sure why, but he says that he does want this to be something that he does with his wife, to worship with one another, and to not have something where it's like, okay, I'm going to this church and you may stay here and watch online, or you may go to another church. He wants them to be united. So when, the ladies, they went on their little shopping thing, and when they sat down, Deanna was talking about how Greg gives her a lot of compliments, and that's not something that she's really too into. And Iris was like, well, you should eat it all up, because maybe 5 years down the line, he won't give compliments to you because, he says that that's something that you don't like. And Deanna says that, Iris is an extrovert, so she's used to being the center of attention, or she likes to be the center of attention. That's not the type of person that I am. So it's going to take me a minute to get acclimated to receiving all of this stuff. Let's just talk about this too. When the ladies met, the men met, they played golf. Keith talked about how they have this thing where every other day or every day they talk about 2 negative things that they didn't like that the other did, or 2 things that they can have for improvement. Deanna discusses that with Greg because Iris told her this as well, And Deanna says that may be good for them, but that's not really good for her. Greg asks how so, and Greg asks her how so. She says she would just rather tell you at that moment if something that you had done wasn't necessarily something that she liked. And Greg agrees it's better to say what you mean at that moment instead of discussing something that happened 2 weeks ago and something that you can't change. So we see Keith and Iris, they're going out on the boat, not the Catamaran boat, just a regular boat. And Keith says that he has a lot of feelings for he has feelings for Iris, and she has a lot of the things that he wanted in a woman. Iris says that she didn't know that her honeymoon could be so fun with the person that she didn't know, but it's better this way because, you know, she's having new experiences with this man, and every single day they're growing closer together and learning more things about one another. Okay. So we see Matt and Amber. Matt and Amber are swimming. Matt says that he's trying not to guard his heart as he's done in the past. And he thinks that Amber can bring out the best in him, something that he wants, because apparently you can't bring out the best in yourself. He's ready for this new chapter to begin in his life. Okay. We talked about the ladies going shopping. We talked about the men having playing golf, but we didn't talk about when Matt told the men that he may be going overseas to play basketball again, you know, just in case his business doesn't work out. And then in the same breath, he said that his relationship with Amber was open and honest. Jamie then turned around, not to him, obviously, to the camera, and was like, well, how's y'all relationship open and honest if you can't even tell her that you might be going overseas, or you may get another contract, or anything may happen with your basketball career that enables you to be gone for like 6 months at a time. So 6 or more months at a time. I mean, that was rude. He didn't have to say that, but I guess he did. So now we see everybody, they're on the Catamaran. Okay. They get on the Catamaran. Deanna is fine with the Catamaran. Iris is fine with the Catamaran. Amber is just sitting over there in the corner. She's not really saying, well, she's with Matt, but she's just sitting there. Matt is like, are you okay? She's like, Matt is like, do you feel like you gotta throw up? And she just like, she says that she doesn't want Matt to see this side of her, but I mean, crap. I threw up in front of this man that I was going with, and he had to literally hold my hair over the toilet while I threw up. Okay. I got really drunk. And, you know, I mean, I felt embarrassed, but damn, it's throw up. Like, it's something that people do. So what are you talking about? Anyway, Elizabeth is a little bit freaking out. I guess she doesn't like to be gross, and the water was like hitting her back a little bit, and she just felt grossed out, and she's like, I don't want to have dinner and do everything if I'm feeling grossed out. So they make it to the private little island. Greg and Deanna wear their matching bathing suits. They go in the water. Greg says that this is the first time that he's seen his wife in the littlest amount of clothing. And it is, because she wears those, you know, swim covers or those sundresses. So he's looking at her like she looking like a snack. And he's like, okay, I can't, you know, have these feelings. So he goes in the water and he's like, I just need to continue to look at my wife, but I don't need everybody to look at me. Matt and Amber go have a walk along the beach. Did they talk about something? I don't know. She told him to take his pants off. I don't know what they was talking about. Elizabeth and Jamie were in the hammock. Elizabeth says that she was okay with coming on the Catamaran. And I mean, you know, I know people love each other and everything, but you don't have to lay on me. You can lay next to me. Please don't lay on me. Anyway, so we see Iris and Keith. They are having a hike. Iris has found out that Keith has a very playful personality, and he's trying to scare her and say that bugs are crawling on her and this and that, and it's all, you know, fun and games until he loses his ring. So Iris goes a little bit crazy. She's like, you gonna lose your ring. It's done. You done lost your ring. Oh my gosh, you done lost it. He's like, calm down. All of the couples, they said all of the couples. All I seen was Jamie and Elizabeth, or that's all that they showed. They're helping them find the ring, and then after 20 minutes he finds the ring. It looked like Keith never moved from the spot that he was in, and he just, I don't know, it just looked like the ring wasn't, I don't know, but they found the ring. Everything is happy. They get back on the boat to go, or they get back on the catamaran to go back to Antigua, and that's when shit starts to hit the fan. It's all choppy and stuff. Deanna is fine with it. Iris is fine with it. Amber is laying down because she can't take it. And Elizabeth can't take it. Elizabeth is feeling sick. And Jamie is making jokes. And she like, bro, chill out. Fuck you. I don't need all of this. And Elizabeth felt like Jamie wasn't being as serious as he needed or as she would like for him to be, considering that her guts was doing acrobats. And when they make it back to Antigua, he's like, okay, I can do whatever you want me to do. She like, chill out, bro. I don't need you, okay? I'm gonna take my ass back, okay? Okay? So I'm gone. Jamie said that he felt really, I guess, hurt. I can't remember what he said. I got it in my notes, but I probably don't. He said he felt hurt or he felt sad or I know this bitch ain't messing with. Jamie said that he felt disrespected and you can't talk to your husband like that. So Elizabeth wakes up. She's in a better mood. Elizabeth says that she knows that she was acting like a bitch toward Jamie, but she apologizes. And Jamie said that he apologizes because he knows that he didn't know that she was really feeling so bad. And, you know, once she threw up, he understood that the severity of the situation and that he shouldn't have been joking and doing all of that stuff. Okay. Jamie says that he's starting to see that, well, what type of person, or not what type. Jamie says that he's starting to see the comfort levels of Elizabeth and, you know, what makes her tick and what makes her not. And, you know, she's going to keep him on her toes because she's a very unique person. And once they get on the same frequency, everything will be fine. And they're both in love with one another and they both see their future being very bright. I don't know how you can be in love with someone that you've just met 4.5 days ago, but hey, law of allowing. So we see Deanna and Greg. After the catamaran, they go and they have this nice little private dinner, and Greg starts to ask her, you know, if she's ever lived with anyone. She says no. Well, I've lived with roommates, but not a man. He says, well, I have lived with a woman, not a man. And she's like, okay. And he's like, yeah, you know, I had an ex-fiance. And she's like, you had an ex-fiance. And she says in her confessional that she did feel a little bit hurt, but she has to understand that just because she wasn't in a relationship for 10 years, other people were in relationships, and that she can't let the past affect her. So he tells her that obviously the relationship wasn't meant to be because he was with her. He's with her now. And, you know, it was a toxic relationship. Things weren't going the best. So he needed to have some therapy and to work through his issues. And he's been single for 2 years. And now he's here with her. And everything is happy and everything is great. And they're ready to move in together and tackle a different horse. I don't think it's called a horse, but they're going to tackle a different horse. They didn't show Keith and Iris on the beach. I'm sorry, but Matt and Amber are a little bit boring to me. So they didn't show Keith and Iris. I'd literally be okay if it was just Elizabeth, Jamie, Keith and Iris, and Deanna and Greg. I'm sorry. I know that sounds mean, but not because there isn't any drama. None of the couples have drama, right? For now. But like, I don't know. So Keith and Iris are packing up and they just hope that they can be cool together, living together, because he's lived with people, but it's been like 2 or 3 years when he's lived apart. She's never lived with anyone because I'll be living in sin, and she's not going to do that because, you know, she's a Christian and blah blah blah. And you know, they've been living together well in Antigua, but I mean, shit, it's Antigua. Like, come on, anybody can live well in a freaking tropical paradise. So now they hope that translates over to Charlotte. So let's talk about Matt and Amber, because I guess that was the most that I have. They sit down for this private dinner. Matt asks her, will she be looking forward to living with him. She says, I do think that I'm going to be looking forward to living with you. He says, are you going to be looking forward to me being there every day? Because obviously, since he plays basketball overseas, you know, he don't have a real like 9 to 5 job, and he's trying to start this business, but it's still like in the ground floor, on the ground floor, whatever. So she's like, yeah, I think it'll be fine. He's like, so, okay, what if the business isn't as good as I want it to be, or if it doesn't take off and I have to take another contract? And she's like, no, I don't want you to take another contract. She says in her confessional that reminds her of her mother leaving her. But I get that you have these issues, but at the same time, this man trying to make money for both of y'all, you know? Yeah, 8 to 10 months will be a long time not to be with somebody, but this man trying to make money, and you know, I just can't look at it as the same as my mother abandoning me to be with her lesbian lover. Like, that's not the same as this man going to make money to support us and his, you know, him and us and his family, if we a family. So she's like, I'd rather you not, you know, I can support us, you know, I'd be making like 80. Where's my 80? Okay. I'd be making like 80, and you know, we can just go from there. Apparently this didn't sit right with Matt. Matt thought that she meant that, you know, you can just ask me for money and I can support you. And Amber thought that he meant when he said that she was questioning his manhood. So they had this little weird, I guess it wasn't weird, you know, I guess it was insecurities and everything. But like, was it real? Because they just laying in bed looking at one another, not talking to one another. Then the camera crew tells him to start talking, and he says, I didn't mean anything by it. You know, if you said that I had like a different tone or something, I didn't mean anything by it. I do not want you to think that I'm asking my newlywed wife to help me with my business. And Amber's like, I never thought that you meant that. And he's like, okay, well, that's the only thing that I had a problem with, because I don't want you to think that I need you for financial security or dependency or anything like that. And she's like, I never thought that you did. I just, you know, I'm a type of person who, you know, I want to be with you and I want to help you with things, and I want to be your wife and be your partner, and I'm just going to give because that's the type of person that I am. And they just had a little miscommunication, but now, you know, they're solid. And Amber says that she's never lived with a man. Matt, however, has lived with a woman, so it's going to be like a very grown-up thing for her to do, to live with this man and to be in a different mind space and be a whole ass wife. Okay, that's the end of everything. Sorry that it was rushed. I'm not in a good mood. Life is hitting. I'm not in a good mood. Anyway, if y'all like this review, you can like, comment, and subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter. Everything you need to know about me will be in the bottom bar below. My name is Brielle. I make beats. I sing songs. If you like what you see, come on along. Bye.